Welcome to the Cafe Nightly Show. I'm your host, the Goldsmith. It is the 10th of April, and it happens to be a Wednesday. I was a little salty yesterday. Maybe it has nothing to do with the Upland putting out a mission today, but I do appreciate the fact that it was the case. Looking at the countdown clock, as we are headed towards the end, or we're moving towards the end of the first chapter of the platform, of the airdrop platform. Like to see some more of those sneak their way in here over the next couple of weeks. But again, I do appreciate them. I feel a little more confident with this pacing. Maybe, just maybe, fingers crossed, we're gonna get to the finish line and at least get me in that first tier, in that first level there before the end. But other news to keep a watch out for that we are going to be taking a peek on is just some review. Otherwise, no other major announcements. No real official announcements today, other than seeing that platform take that new challenge out there. We'll take a look at that challenge, but we do want to, and it's definitely worth taking a chance to review some of the tasks for this season, Blossom season. Again, we take a look at the leaderboard. We're seeing a lot of people cross the 5 threshold already. Some people are closer than they thought they were. I had a conversation with someone today who didn't think they were anywhere near, and they had 4 out of their 5 tasks done. So it's not that difficult. But if you are planning, if you're trying to figure out how to get to 5, it could be a good time to look at some of the ones that take time to get to, including decorating and potentially changing your plans for treasure hunting or staked racing or whatever it takes to get to that 5th one. So we'll look at those, review what we have for the rest of the season for tasks, and just keep an eye out for a couple things that are still coming up around the bend. But for today, let's get the disclaimer out of the way so we can get to those couple pieces that, again, nothing too exciting. Lily, good to see you. I see that you're watching but not stopping me from cussing, so I will take that as it is. But again, for today, let's get started with all views and opinions expressed by myself are mine and mine alone. Should be taken as game strategy or financial advice that represent the game or the team of Upland. Any guest contributors who do have their own opinions, and they are welcome to them. Should be taken as game strategy advice, financial advice that represent myself, the Goldsmith, the Cafe Nightly Show, or the game or the team of Upland. With that, so let's take a look back at something that, again, we took a look at a while back. Everyone's seen it. Everyone knows it's there. It's something that is now a seasonal thing, and that is getting that list of tasks for the season for our gamified earnings. Right now, in the 2 weeks in, almost 2 weeks into Blossom season, there are some of the tasks that are getting close to that timer, the ticking TikTok clock heading towards the end of the season. So that does take a little bit of time. So we're reviewing those, and we'll get started there with a concept that, again, you don't have to do everything. You just have to do the items that, there we go, the items that you need to, the items that you have to get to the 5. Choose the ones that are easiest for you. So let's take a look at a couple things here. Is myself, I only have 2 of the 5 now. I know I'm going to get, without a doubt, the login 7 days straight. Kind of a little something to understand the 7 days straight. It's 7 consecutive days, and it counts on the day you collect your spark. So I'm about to hit mine. My first 7 consecutive days didn't count because part of it was in April and part of it was before April. This time around, it's going to be entirely in April, entirely in the season. 7 days straight of logging in. On the day I collect my spark, that's when I will get the check mark here for login 7 days straight. I'm going to get login 25 days straight, not too long thereafter, which is kind of ironic, but not too long after getting my 7 days straight, I'll get my 25 days straight. So I know those are already coming. I mean, I haven't bought my 5 in the secondary, but I know I'm going to be likely minting 3 properties by the end of this season. And that is because Upland's already said there will be a city release by the end of the season. That is kind of dropped, kind of tangentially, but it was dropped in the announcements about the Blossom season ornament bundles. In that sale, we did have mentioned that there were going to be properties that were going to be given as a reward. that we're going to be coming out of the new city release that was happening in Blossom season. So obviously, Upland specifically saying there is a city release in Blossom season. I will be looking forward to that city release. I am probably going to mint at least 3 properties. There's another check mark on my list. So let's look at the full list here and a little bit of details because, again, people are still asking. The daily dedication, 25 days during the season. Again, at least 25 days during the season, 42 days worth of the season, log in 25 days. Okay, check mark. That's going to happen for me. We're not 25 days in, so I haven't hit it yet, but we will hit it for sure. Consecutive connection. Again, maintain a login streak of at least 7 days straight. Collect your streak login bonus. Again, that's the end of the 7 days. And they all have to be in the season. So my last week run with the collection at the end for my login bonus was partially in the previous season, or the in between the seasons in the end of March, and then obviously the beginning part of April. So now is my first consecutive week. That'll be 2 days. We'll be finishing up on Friday. And then I will be getting that check mark on my list as well. So the Property Pioneer, mint 3 properties. Again, I'm planning to do so here. So I'm already at my 5 there. But there's more, and there's easier ones for some people than others. Urban Explorer, visit 3 different cities in Upland. All you have to do is literally get yourself, your Block Explorer, into 3 different cities. I think I've hit that, but I just haven't seen it pop up on my list yet. But yeah, travel between cities. You may be doing that if you're hunting after Treasure Rush. If you're going from one city to the next, if you're going to go into the next city release, which I think a lot of people will be doing. If you're going into an existing city that you want to go and go to a specific meta venture. On that note, there is a task for meta ventures on here. Racing enthusiasts, 3 public multiplayer races with a minimum of 1,500 UPIC staked. Again, you have to be willing to and able to do a staked race. You have to have the vehicle. 3 public means that you have to participate in, not with just your friends, with people who choose to go into that race, not just a private code. This is something that not everybody wants to get into, but it also layers and it also stacks with the racing series that's going on right now. That is one of the requirements, that it's staked, that it is an open and public race in order for that to count towards points for the racing season leaderboard. So that's kind of interesting that it stacks that way. Real Estate Mogul, buy 5 properties. Again, that's on the secondary. No swaps count there. Seasonal decor. Put your ornament up for at least 3 weeks. I've already put up a Blossom Season ornament. This is one of the ones that it's worth noting. If you haven't gotten a Blossom Season ornament yet, you're thinking about it, you're looking in the secondary, it's probably not a bad idea to look over the next couple of days to make that decision or to purchase one if you're going to. In that, we know that we only have so many days in the season. We want to get it up before the middle of this month in order to know we're going to be able to and have the time to get 21 days having that up again. Get it up on a property. It does have to be displayed, not just owned, and you do have to leave it up for the full 21 days. You can't take it off halfway through. We do have a collection completer. Again, the interesting thing about this one is 2 exclusive collections. Again, with a new city coming up, it's very possible someone could hit it, but we don't know where that city is. 2 exclusive collections in the same city isn't always easy to get, isn't always available. So we'll have to watch out for that. Master Builder, complete the construction of structures, build 5 different types of models. Again, during the one season, that's a lot of building. There's some strategies around that. Some people had structures that they built most of the way at the end of last season and then said, okay, I'm going to carry over. I'm going to finish them off this season. So that definitely is there and an option as far as trying to make things a little easier. Otherwise, it's a lot of spark to build 5 structures. Economy contributor, burn or exchange 3 items using the burn exchange method. We just had a burn event, so that is one a lot of people may have already hit with it without trying. Competition champion, participate in 3 multiplayer races, racing your way to the top. So again, 3 multiplayer races. That's separate from the staked racing. So that is something you people could do as well if they're not going to participate in the staked racing. Community grower, earn a referral bonus. Again, that's a tricky one. You have to get somebody to come into the game of Upland and have them put USD into the game. Not a bad thing when you're getting started to put the $5 in, potentially buy that UPX, get to the Uplander, and then you can start really investing your time and energy and making decisions from there. So it's not a tough sell, but it's one that I haven't done in a while. So it would be something that would be interesting for me to try to see who I'm going to refer if I wanted to get that one checked off the list. Treasure hunt, you just have to start 5 treasure hunts this season. Nothing crazy. You don't have to even claim the treasure. You don't have to find it. You don't have to do competitive. So it's kind of interesting, kind of nice. It's right there in the standards. And MetaVenture Explorer. Visit 3 different MetaVentures, paid send, discover unique shops within Upland. Again, this is talking to Blue earlier tonight. It was one of those things that just happened. It happened as a coincidence. It happened out of just regular gameplay, going to multiple shops to do whatever, to buy this piece or that piece, or sell this piece or that piece, and you just got another check mark along the way. It isn't extremely difficult to get 5 of these done over the course of 42 days, but just putting it out there, we are partway through the month. If you are doing something like, let's say, treasure hunting, you don't treasure hunt every day, but you do that free one. There's one free treasure hunt every day. That means you don't have to pay the 125 UPX or lower if you're not in tier 1 city to start that treasure hunt. So that makes it easier for people to make that decision to do that treasure hunt. Again, you don't have to find the treasure. So if you just hit that free treasure hunt today, and then maybe 1 in 3 days, and maybe in another 3 days, and you at 2 more times by the end of the season, and poof, you have one of these tasks complete. It's what, again, it's participate as much as you can, as you're able, get the 5 done, and know that you're going to get and maintain your 14.7% property earnings, or annualized property earnings, for the next season as well. So great thing to keep in mind. There's easy options. There's a lot of options there. There's still going to be the multiplier, even if you don't get all 5. If you get 4, it's 12.25% multiplier instead of that 14.7. But it is definitely something that is achievable, and should be achievable based on the task this season by almost everybody who plays the game. With the idea that we are seeing some important things for Blossom season, we know we have a city coming up. One other thing that we've kind of been pushed as an important part of Blossom season is we are supposed to have the long awaited and much debated, much discussed Sparklet utility, or Spark utility AMA. Looking forward to that happening sooner rather than later. Gives us more momentum moving in towards Genesis week, or towards Genesis season. So something I would love to see happen sooner rather than later. But we do know ultimately it's kind of been put out that this is gonna be happening probably contemporaneous to the end of this chapter. So we'll watch over the next couple of days, see what happens, but expect to see that announcement in the next couple of weeks, more than likely. But I do want to jump back and take a look at the one other thing that we do have going live in Upland right now. The one thing that's compelling a lot of people, including myself, for keeping our eyes open, paying attention. And I said enough salt yesterday that I have to highlight what's going on today. We did have a new task out today. The tweet to retweet, to share, to comment, to like, to otherwise engage with GM Upland fam. We've seen many newcomers through the Sparklet airdrop, and we want them to have a hood to stake their Sparklet on. Oh geez, what are the best Upland nodes newbies should ape into? More about nodes in Upland. So this is another one of those start the thread things with the Upland. Not a bad thing, obviously. Something where they want you to promote a tweet, and then they can go ahead and get people to see more information with it, especially if they're going to run a thread on it. Couple things though. The ape into a node. I get it. I understand it. I see what Upland's doing as far as trying to look at that lingo and that terminology and this idea of the the FOMO buying, the FOMO dragon sneaking in and biting somebody in crypto projects or in an NFT project. We see that where it's, I gotta go in hard because this is my opportunity to get into this special area or special timing or whatever the case is. Ape in. That's co-opting language from outside Upland and kind of bringing it in. I get it because we're bringing in new people, right? So Upland's trying to appeal to crypto people in that. Again, Upland is doing this whole platform, whole sparklet earning to kind of encourage people from the crypto space to come on into Upland. I'll take it. I'll take it for what it is at this point. The interesting thing again on this as well is the way it's kind of set is with that reply, see how those replies interact and overlap. But ultimately, my advice to somebody who's coming to the game immediately is generally not to get into a node and build in a node. It's generally the exact opposite. It's to familiarize yourself with the game, build a structure, decide where you're going to build that structure if you have the spark in an area that's special to you that you want to have for the potential of that home address, with the idea that that is something that is your home address for now. And if you join communities and you build in communities and you naturally get into a community and you want to build into a new community because that's where you want to have your hat hung, that's where you want to be a member of whatever the core dynamics of that node are, then more power to you. But I like that it's a learning game. But again, if people want to see the direct utility, or Upland wants to highlight the direct utility, immediately building a structure in a high demand area, I can see that Upland sees that as a value and something to push out there. So that's the value of what we're looking at. But the other thing that I'm looking at here with this tweet, obviously, I've already retweeted it. I've already or gone and shared, I should say. I've already gone and replied. I've already liked it. But what we also see is our other mission that was up here is gone, aka we do see that we only have a limited period of time to interact with a mission before it leaves. It looks like it's a couple days as of right now. So just keep that in mind. About 36 hours is what we've been seeing so far. So if you don't interact with whatever that mission is, it'll be gone. You'll miss that opportunity to earn those points. So definitely earn those points as you can. I would say check daily. If there's a new task that goes up, do it as soon as you can. And that way we know we're not missing those opportunities for points. And when I point to opportunities for points, what's key there with the opportunity for points, at least for me, is that I want to at least get me to level 1 Upland. I think that's not a question at this point, but we are at the whim of the number of missions that Upland puts out there. The more missions that go out, the more points we'll have. So, I request humbly that we get some more missions and we get them out more quickly, Upland. I'll be ever so happy. So we're keeping our eyes out on the missions as they come in. We know that we are in Blossom season, headed towards getting ready for Genesis Week. I would love, just based on timing, to see totems make a return. That's just a little hope on my part. But for now, keeping our eyes open because we don't have any major announcements, maybe push forwards this week. What we do know is, again, to keep our eyes on the horizon for a new city later this season. Again, that is a city release. That was an announcement after Bermuda, so definitely expect it to be something different than Bermuda. But keep our eye out for that. Keep our eye out for the Spark announcement or Sparklet AMA, and of course, just generally getting ready for the next few announcements that will be coming up for Genesis Week, I'm sure, over the next several weeks. So for tonight, that's about what we got. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for making it in tonight. With a caveat that I'm looking forward to more. Hopefully later this week. Maybe we'll have a little bit of fun here if we can start talking about a city. Fingers crossed by the end of this week. So for tonight, thank you so much for being here. Looking forward to all that's coming up here headed towards Genesis Week. And as always, if you're in the Upland Cafe, feel free to unmute your mics. The floor is yours. And And congratulations, Lily Field, on leveling up. So pushing into level one.